A shop standard does not prove itself when the day is easy. It proves itself when the shop is slammed. That is the only test that matters. Anybody can talk about better communication when the phones are quiet, the schedule is light, and everyone has time to think. But that is not a real shop day. A real shop day is different. Customers are waiting. Inspections are stacking up. Parts need to be checked. Technicians need answers. The advisor is trying to keep cars moving, customers updated, and estimates organized before the whole day gets away from them. That is when a standard either holds or disappears. And if it disappears the moment the shop gets busy, it was never the standard. It was just an idea. So if we are going to talk about building a shop-wide standard, we have to get specific. It starts with the inspection. A good inspection is not paperwork. It is not busy work. It is not something the technician does just because management wants a box checked. A good inspection is the foundation of the customer conversation. If the inspection is weak, everything after it gets weaker. The advisor has less proof. The estimate has less structure. The customer has less clarity. And trust gets harder to earn. That is why documentation matters. Photos, measurements, test results, notes, service history. Those are not little details. They are the difference between asking a customer to believe you and helping a customer see what you see. And that difference is everything. Because when a customer can see the condition of their own vehicle, the conversation changes. They are not just hearing an opinion, they are looking at proof. That proof gives the advisor something real to explain. Here is what we found. Here is why it matters. Here is what needs attention now. Here is what can wait. That is not pressure. That is clarity. But the inspection alone is not enough. The next piece is the handoff. This is where a lot of shops lose the story. The technician sees the vehicle in the bay. The advisor talks to the customer at the counter. And somewhere between those 2 points, the explanation gets weaker. Details get missed. Priorities get blurred. The estimate turns into a list. And the customer gets a price before they understand the reason behind it. That is why the handoff has to be trained. The advisor needs to understand the original concern. What was confirmed, what was found, what is safety related, what is repair related, what is maintenance, what has proof, what has history, and what needs to be explained carefully. That is how a shop moves from recommendations to communication. Then the estimate has to follow the same standard. A strong estimate is not just a total, it is the organized version of the inspection. The customer should be able to follow the path, the concern, the inspection, the proof, the priority, the price. That order matters, because when price comes first, customers get guarded. When proof comes first, the price has context. It feels clearer. It feels more respectful. It feels like the shop is helping the customer make a decision instead of pushing them into one. Then comes the presentation. This is where advisor training matters. And the fundamentals do not change based on what kind of shop you run. General repair, maintenance, tires, diagnostics, diesel, European, 1 bay or 5 locations. The job at the counter is the same. The advisor still has to understand the vehicle, organize the information, explain the findings clearly, and help the customer make an informed decision. That is why the best training is built on communication that holds up across the entire industry. The advisor's job is simple, but not easy. Take good information and communicate it clearly. Start with why the customer came in. Explain what was found. Separate the priorities. Use the photos and measurements. Give the out-the-door price. Then stop and give the customer room to think. That last part matters most, because clarity gives the customer room to decide. Pressure makes them defend, and a customer who is defending is a customer you cannot help. But even that is not enough unless the owner protects the process. The owner cannot just tell the team to do better. They have to know what better looks like. They have to know what a complete inspection looks like. They have to know whether the estimate was built clearly. They have to know whether the advisor presented the work in the right order. They have to know where the process broke when a customer walked away confused. Because if nobody is inspecting the standard becomes optional, and optional does not survive a busy shop. That is why Champion University is built around the whole process. Inspection, documentation, handoff, estimate, presentation, follow-up, accountability. Every part connects because the customer feels the whole process. They feel when the inspection is complete. They feel when the advisor understands the vehicle. They feel when the estimate makes sense. They feel when the priorities are clear. They feel when the shop has a process instead of just a price. That is what builds trust. That is what creates better results. Not because the shop got better at pressure, because the shop got better at explaining the truth. That is the system Champion University teaches. A standard the technician can follow. A standard the advisor can present. A standard the owner can inspect. A standard the customer can feel. Champion University. Better training. Better communication. A standard your customers can trust.